So if you're a home bartender like myself and you're interested in making highball cocktails, then you've probably asked yourself, what brands should you buy your sodas from? If so, then this is the correct video for you. My name is Ron Verpin. I'm a full-time medical doctor, and I've been a home bartender for over 5 years now. During that time, I've learned how to make over 100 different cocktails, and I've thrown over 50 cocktail parties. And I teach other busy professionals how to make cocktails at home. And in this video, I'm going to be answering that very important question. What brands or companies should you buy your sodas from if you're interested in making highball cocktails? And I'm the right person to answer this question because over the course of these past 5 years, I've made well over 1,000 highballs. And during that time, I've tried out many of the different soda companies out there, and there's two that I tend to gravitate towards the most. And these days, as an advanced home bartender, over 5 years into my journey, these are pretty much the only two that I use exclusively in all my cocktails that I make at home, and also all of the ones that I share with you guys when I make these videos for YouTube. And I have one of them demonstrated here, which is going to be Q Mixers, and the other one is called Fever Tree. And these are my top two for quite a number of reasons. The first is that they're just essentially ubiquitous. So if you're living in the United States like myself, you can pick up Q Mixers and Fever Tree at pretty much any Target or Walmart, and not only that, at most of the various grocery stores throughout the country. So whether that's Safeway, Albertsons, Smith's, Vaughn's, whatever your case may be, Kroger, whatever your local grocery store is, you're going to be able to find both Q Mixers and Fever Tree. And depending on where you are in the country, you can also, I live in Las Vegas right now, and I know, speaking from experience here, you can find both of these also at the liquor stores. So that's why I say it's quite ubiquitous, whether it's the more general stores like Walmart and Target, whether it's grocery stores, whether it's liquor stores, and there's quite a few other possibilities too, even like your local corner shops and specialty boutiques and stores like that will probably have these in stock as well. So the first is that they're pretty ubiquitous, and I would say, at least for Fever Tree, I'm not as sure with Q Mixers, but I know for Fever Tree, that's also available in other parts of at least the Western world, Europe, Canada, Australia, things like that. I know these are available there. And if you're watching this video from another country, just leave a comment, please, if you can find either of these two brands, Fever Tree or Q Mixers, available in your local market. I just know from my experience in the US, they're both pretty widespread. And even if you don't want to go to your liquor store, you can also order them online through their own website or through Amazon.com. So they're pretty ubiquitous, I would say, in that sense. The other reason I like both of these brands is that both of them I find are not overly sweet. And I would say most people's palates tend to be more on the dry side these days anyways. I think in the older age of cocktails, the early 1900s, for example, people liked drinks that were more sweet. So that late 1800s, early 1900s. It's probably because these days, especially in the 21st century, sugar is pretty readily available and available in a number of different things. So you don't need to go to your drinks to get sugar. You can get sugar from pretty much anywhere else. So these days, people tend to have drier palates like myself. So you want sodas that are not overly sweet because they will tend to make the cocktail sweet, especially if you're making these cocktails with added sugar in the form of simple syrup, for example. So that's going to be the second reason. So one is that they're readily available throughout the United States and in other parts of the world as well. Two is that they're both on the drier side or less sweet side. They still do have a good amount of sweetness, but not overly sweet. So I think, in my opinion, that stands up better in cocktails. And the other main reason is that they both have good variety in the number of different sodas that they have. I would say the main sodas that you're going to be using, one is the grapefruit soda that I have here. They both have that available as a great option. So this is going to be mainly for Palomas. Then the other main soda is going to be ginger beer, and ginger beer is for rum bucks, dark and stormies, and most famously going to be the Moscow Mule. And Fever Tree and Q Mixers both have that as an option. And I'm not as familiar with Q Mixers for this third type of soda, but I know Fever Tree definitely has it, and that's going to be tonic water. So tonic water is going to be mainly used for your gin and tonics. That's the most common drink that's going to be using that. So it's a type of sparkling water that also has quinine, so it has a little bit more of a bitter aftertaste and bitter taste as well. So those are going to be your three main sodas: grapefruit soda, ginger beer, and tonic water. And the reason I like both of these brands is that not only do they do those basics well, they also have some extra variety if you're looking to make a specialty form of those cocktails. For example, these guys, Cube Mixers, have a hibiscus ginger beer. I know Fever Tree has a blood orange ginger beer. So if you're looking to spice up your Moscow Mules or rum bucks and you're looking to add a little bit different flavor, I threw a party where the hibiscus ginger Moscow Mule was the signature drink at that party, and it did quite well. So if you're looking to spice things up and you want a little bit more variety than just the basic ginger beer or the basic sodas and things like that, then go ahead and go with these brands. I know also Fever Tree has an elderflower gin and tonic, or elderflower tonic water that you can then use to make elderflower gin and tonic. So they both have some added extra variety that just makes things more interesting. If you're bored of your standard gin and tonics or your standard Moscow Mules and you want to make elderflower gin and tonic, you want to make a blood orange gin Moscow Mule, a hibiscus Moscow Mule, things like that, then these two companies have you covered. And specifically, I like to use them both for different things. I mainly like to use Q Mixers for the grapefruit soda, and then I like to use Fever Tree for the ginger beer and the tonic water. But they both actually do all of these different ones pretty well. That's just from my experience what I tend to gravitate to. So if you're, like I said, if you're a home bartender and you want to get into home bartending specifically to make highball cocktails, whether you're looking to make the Moscow Mule, the Paloma, the gin and tonic, 3 of the most successful and well-known products out there or cocktails out there, then go ahead and go with these 2 brands, Fever Tree and Q Mixers, that I have demonstrated by the grapefruit soda here. From my experience, I've used quite a few out there. Those are going to be the most universally well-liked. They both, on the drier side, they're ubiquitous and available throughout the United States and other parts of the world as well. So just to summarize, the 2 brands that I think you guys should be using the most when you're looking to make highball cocktails, the 2 brands that you're going to be using for your sodas are going to be Q Mixers and Fever Tree. And there are 3 main reasons why I feel like these 2 are the best companies. One is that they're ubiquitous and they're readily available at a wide variety of stores throughout the United States and other parts of the Western world and other parts of the world in general. 2 is that their sodas tend to be on the drier side. So even though there is a good amount of sweetness, it's not overly sweet, and I feel like that stands up pretty well in the cocktails that you're going to be making using these sodas. And the final point is that when you're bored of the standard versions of their sodas, like the ginger beer and tonic water, for example, they also have flavored versions like hibiscus ginger beer and elderflower tonic water. So that'll add some extra spice and extra variety to the cocktails that you make. Anyways, that's all I have for today's video. If you found the advice helpful, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I really like to do 2 types of videos on this channel. One will be like this video where I do general tips and tricks and share advice and stories from my own home bartending journey that I feel will help you guys become better home bartenders. And the second style of video will be tutorials on how to make specific cocktails. Thank you. Cheers.